Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We continue to follow breaking news here at Fox 61 at 6. A car crashed and caught on fire in Berlin. One person was hurt. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is going to have a live update for us in just about 2 minutes. Well, good morning to you. We hope your day's off to a great start so far. Thanks for being with us, America Arias.
And I'm Bridget Piorla. Hope you get another chance to get outside today. It's going to be beautiful, but I feel like you got to really soak it up while it's here, Rachel Piscatelli, because we keep getting teased and it gets cold again.
And then it gets cold over the weekend.
Right, I hate it.
And more rain.
And more rain on the way, exactly. But in the meantime, let's focus on the good stuff, which yesterday was beautiful. Temperatures were in the 70s to near 80 degrees. 79 over in Meriden yesterday afternoon, 73 in New Haven, and 75 in Chester. For today, it's going to be a similar story. Temperatures up around 80 degrees in the afternoon, cooler along the shoreline, but it will be a bit breezy. Those winds are going to kick back in later on today. So late morning, early afternoon, you'll feel that increase, and then eventually those winds getting up around 25 to maybe an occasional gust closer to 30. So that high brush fire risk continues throughout the day today. Temperatures out the door in the 40s to near 50, around 43 degrees in New Haven, 52 in Waterbury out the door there, and 44 in Torrington. Good morning to you. Our wind speeds are fine this morning. They've shifted to out of the south as high pressure is anchored down to the south of us this morning. There's those wind speeds, though, that pick up in intensity, 25 miles per hour at noontime, gusting closer to 30 by the late afternoon. So if you have any evening plans, just kind of want to plan accordingly for that. Temperatures by about 1 o'clock, 73 degrees. Lots of sun, a little bit more cloud coverage in the late afternoon and early evening, but high temperatures today, town by town, just around 71 degrees in Milford, up around 80 degrees in Southington. We'll make a run at 80 in the capital city as well, a little bit cooler in southeastern Connecticut, but overall still comfortable. There is a front that comes through late tonight into tomorrow that could bring a shower or two, mainly for areas north for tonight after about midnight or so, but that clears out by daybreak. We're up around 69 to near 70 degrees in the afternoon for tomorrow with lots of sun. We'll detail where we'll go from here, talk about your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. As we check in the roads this morning at 6:02, we do have a crash to alert you to at this hour over in Brooklyn this morning on 169. A portion of that this morning is going to be blocked because of a crash. This is a car versus a pole at this point. So 169 Pomfret Road. It's between Spalding Road and Bush Hill Road, rather. So give yourself a little extra time there. We also have this road work over in Hartford this morning, 84 eastbound out by exit 52. That is blocked this morning out by exit 91 southbound. That's that on-ramp because of some road work in the area. We are also heavy this morning as you're traveling into downtown, 91 south, exit 31 off-ramp. You can see those delays this morning on your screen out by Jennings Road because of the road work in the area. Over to you.
Rachel, thanks. All right, we're getting back to that breaking news in Berlin. One person hurt after a car crash and then caught fire. It only happened about 2 hours ago.
And Fox 61's Glenn Kittle joins us now from the scene area with the latest details. So Glenn, you've been out there a little over an hour now. What are you learning?
Yeah, Bridget, Erica, that crash happened just before 4 this morning on just north of Orchard Road on the Chamberlain Highway. A portion of the Chamberlain Highway was closed while crews cleaned up the debris, but now it has since reopened. We're going to show you some pictures of what that crash looked like from the Berlin Volunteer Fire Department. You can see just how big the flames got before crews were able to put out the fire. Firefighters say one car was involved in the crash and only the driver was in the car. That person was taken to the hospital and has moderate injuries. You can also see in the photos the front end of the car looks completely destroyed. Berlin police is investigating now to find out what caused the crash, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Live in Berlin, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, check in with you in just a little bit. Thank you. Time now, 6:03. We're ready to get to some court news this morning. The man responsible for hitting and killing Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier is scheduled to be sentenced today after he reached a plea deal for the crime.
Trooper Pelletier's widow spoke out against the decision in a previous court appearance. Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is live in Hartford with the latest details. Keith, good morning.
Erica and Bridget, good morning. It is sentencing day in just about 4 hours for Oyola Sanchez, almost a year after he hit and killed Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier.
Connecticut State Police Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier died in the line of duty, and today the man responsible will learn his fate. In May of last year, Trooper Pelletier was conducting a routine traffic stop on I-84 in Southington when he was hit and killed along the side of the road. 44-year-old Oyola Sanchez was charged with manslaughter and evading responsibility. as well as DUI, driving without minimum insurance, and failure to slow down or move over for an emergency vehicle on the highway. In February, Oyola Sanchez pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter as part of a plea deal that could send him behind bars for 18 years. Pelletier's widow, Dominique, spoke out against the deal at the time.
It has been 271 days since my husband was killed by the defendant. The horror, sadness, heartache, anger, and confusion I have felt since May 30th, 2024 has been unimaginable.
The mom of two argued Oyola Sanchez could be back out on the street while her children are still young.
My fear is that when this man is eligible for parole, our children will still be in the public school system, still minors, still juveniles. How am I supposed to protect them from this evil?
Dominique called for Oyola Sanchez to spend 30 years in prison, 15 years for manslaughter and 15 for evading police.
Court gets underway in New Britain in just about 4 hours from now at 10 a.m. Of course, we are keeping an eye out for that decision. As we learn it, we will bring it to you on air and across all of our digital platforms, including the Fox 61 app and fox61.com. In Hartford, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61.
All right, hopefully one step closer to justice for the Pelletier family. Keith, thank you very much. And more court news this morning. A man charged with the murder of a Groton woman went before a judge for the first time yesterday. Donald Koffel was arraigned in court virtually due to ongoing medical issues. You see him there. Koffel was accused of killing 58-year-old Suzanne Wormser inside the apartment they shared in Groton. Prosecutors say Koffel hit Wormser with a baseball bat during an argument. Her remains were found in a suitcase outside the Colonel Ledyard Cemetery several weeks ago.
People in Rock Hill are shocked after a body was pulled from the Connecticut River over the weekend. Officers say a boater spotted the body and then called 911 right away. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson has more from people who live in the area.
I'm standing here in Ferry Park, just north of where police found a body near the shoreline on Sunday. We don't know who that person is yet or how they even wound up in the river, but it is drawing concern from park goers.
It was a little creepy because we watch logs float by and we say, oh, that looks like a dragon or that's.
Ed Akindu described what he sees when he eats lunch by the river with Nancy Tatsapa. They said they were surprised to hear what was found floating in the river over the weekend.
I was surprised. It's usually pretty calm and peaceful here.
On Sunday, a boater saw a body and alerted police. Officers arrived and found the body near the shoreline.
And, you know, the only things you see in the water are the birds and the logs that float by and stuff. So to hear that there was a body was a surprise.
Tatsapa says she wonders how long the body had been going downstream.
You don't know where it originated from either. Could have been, you know, Hartford or any other town upriver. So Wethersfield, you know, even north of that.
Tatsapa and Akindu said they were interested to see what police found out about the body.
I mean, I know the river has all kinds of crazy currents, and it's sort of notorious for being, you know, a little bit out of the ordinary. It could be that there was something that went wrong.
That I hope it's somebody who had an accident and it's not something malicious, but we'll find out, I guess.
The pair have had lunch here for 15 years. They say even though the situation is scary, they hope for another 15 in this same spot.
Police boat docks here. So, you know, you kind of know that there's a presence.
We're not really expecting a body to go by, so, but it's not going to stop us from coming down here.
Now, when I reached out to police, they tell me that they are waiting to hear back from the medical examiner's office about the identity of the body. So far, they have no updates on their investigation. In Rocky Hill, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
A quiet Ansonia neighborhood turned into a scene of chaos over the weekend. Now, as you just saw, part of it was caught on police dash cam video. Police say a group launched fireworks and even threw objects at officers.
And as you saw, one of the people threw an orange traffic cone, which smashed the windshield of a police cruiser. Several police officers responded to the scene. Thankfully, none of them were hurt. But the actions of the massive group have people in the area scared and shocked. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has more on the investigation and the reaction from neighbors.
Yeah, Ansonia police say they were able to identify some of the people involved in the takeover. Now, they say they're still trying to gather as much information as possible to still piece together exactly what happened. Now, the people I spoke with tell me it's frustrating to see this happening in their community. This video provided by Ansonia police shows the chaos and violent behavior from a street takeover where nearly 100 people gathered Saturday morning. Lieutenant Patrick Lynch says Ansonia police were sent to Wakely and Franklin streets at around 12:30 a.m. after several 911 calls for the street takeover. He says the officer on scene ended up surrounded by dozens of people who began throwing objects to the police cruiser. As more police officers arrived, the damage had already been done. Lieutenant Lynch says it's hard to watch the dash camera video without thinking of people's safety.
Well, it's difficult to watch. You don't want to see anyone get hurt. And it's not just our officer. There's people standing outside while these cars are driving that way. And there's plenty of videos you can find where the cars are doing the donuts in the middle of the street. Thankfully, if there's a good part of it, it was the middle of the night, so no one was really out. But it's a highly populated, densely driven area that if it happens any other time, could have some serious consequences.
Yeah, again, police say they've been able to identify some of the people involved in the takeover. Now they're asking anyone with information to contact police. In Ansonia, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
All right, Valerie, thank you. A new video out of Hartford this morning where police say a person was stabbed in the hand. It happened just after 8 last night outside the Capitol View apartment building on Asylum Street. Police say the victim is expected to be okay, and officers did not say if they have a suspect in custody. Power is almost fully restored in Spain after a massive blackout yesterday. It also impacted several regions around Portugal as well. The outages left people stranded in airports and train stations as people were told to stay off the roads. Madrid's metro system says about 80% of its trains will be operating again during rush hour today. We still do not know what caused that outage.